Hello, my name is Buluwatife David. I am the founder of High Performance Network and the convener of the Focus Life Summit. Today, we are talking about personal transformation, and I like to call that expounding your boundaries of realities. But before I begin to talk about that, I would like to ask you a question. How do you complete this statement? My kind of person, Just take some time to complete that. Because whatever you are using to complete that statement, my kind of person, is a spotlight into what your boundaries of realities are. Now, let me show you what I mean when I talk about the boundaries of realities. So imagine that based on the beliefs that you have, based on the experiences that you've had in life, this happens to be your boundary of reality. This happens to be the box in which your beliefs are. So everything you believe to be true is in here. Everything you believe to not be true is in here. What you think you can do is in here. You know, saying that your kind of person can invest money and get money is in here. Saying your kind of person cannot play football and make money from it is in here. Now, what this means is that this boundary, determines what you can have, what you can be, and what you can essentially do, And most of the time, the things that we really want out of life, the goals that we have, the aspirations that we have, our desires are oftentimes than not outside of this boundary. So this boundary tells you what you can do, but fortunately or unfortunately, your desires, your goals, your aspirations are here. So because of this boundary, it becomes difficult for you to go in the direction of this thing and achieve it. Now, to put this thing in perspective, let me share a particular story with you. I once worked with a man who happened to have a real estate company, and what he wanted to do was to significantly grow from servicing from servicing low earning people in the populace to serving high-end customers. So he wanted to change his business model from servicing low-end customers to servicing high-end customers. Now, the challenge, however, was that the way the business was designed is such that if he presents, or if any of his representatives go to talk to these high network individuals, they would not believe him, because the outlook of his business does not look like a kind of business that, can service this kind of people. Truth be told, I checked their books. They've done a lot in terms of real estate in Nigeria and in fact in Lagos, but we rarely know them because their model says that we should be humble with what we do. Now, by virtue of this man's boundaries of realities, it says that when you make a certain level of success in life, you cover it. You know that Yoruba proverb that says that if your yam is done, you cover it with your hand. That is exactly what this man's boundaries of reality look like. So even though he's trying to now get new kind of customers, his boundaries of realities will not allow him to do that. So, I sat down in a conversation with him for about 30 minutes where I was asking him questions, just trying to understand why is it that even though he desired the new, he kept on repeating the old. Then, as we continued asking questions, I discovered that there is a particular belief system within his boundaries of reality that says that, we do our bit we do all of our hard work, in the secret, and God that rewards openly will be the one that will make noise about us. What he did not understand is that for him to be able to get the kind of client that he needs to expand his boundaries of realities so that he can now accommodate the kind of communication that this kind of people need, so they can now accommodate the kind of behavior that will make his business to be able to look attractive to this kind of person. This is what I'm really trying to say. For every goal that you want to achieve in your life, for every goal that you set out to achieve in your business, for every goal that you set out to achieve in your career, there is a particular kind of person that is required for that goal. Imagine that imagine the difference between the way a footballer would prepare as against the way a wrestler would prepare. the requirements for feeding, for training, for exercise of a wrestler is significantly different from the preparation, from the diet and all of those things of a footballer. The same thing that a singer will do is different from the things that a dancer would have to do. Now, what I'm trying to say in essence is that all of these things require a particular kind of person. The kind of person that can start a business might not be the same kind of person that can grow a business. So every time that we find ourselves limited, every time we find ourselves not being able to achieve the things that we really want to achieve, if we check it properly, then it will be because our boundaries of realities has limited us. A couple of years, maybe like some 3 years ago, I found it really difficult to stand in front of camera this way and record because, I always say to people that, I like it when I'm speaking to a live audience. I can feed on their energy. I can do all of those things. But I discovered that if I continue to do that, I will not be able to achieve my goals. So I had to do what? Expound my boundaries of realities. And when we talk about personal transformation, all that we're talking about is expanding your boundaries of realities. Expanding your boundaries of realities. Because see, the kind of person you are today is not a function of who you are essentially. It's just a function of the kind of person that you have become. Now, the question is the kind of person you have become. Can that same person produce the kind of life that you want? If not, then you have to become another kind of person. You have to transform. You have to change yourself. You have to make necessary adjustments within yourself. You have to expound your boundaries of realities. And when we ask the question of how exactly do I expand my boundaries of realities, how exactly do I transform myself, I think the Bible did a good work of trying to help us explain that by saying that be thou transformed by the renewal of your mind. The only way to transform is to change our mindset. And that is why the Bible also says, let this mind that was in Christ be in you. What kind of mind do you think was in Christ Jesus that made him to go through the pain, go through the glory, go through everything that he went through in this life, succeeding at everything? I think that Jesus had a growth mindset, a mindset that is not fixed, a mindset that understood that even though this is who I am today, I have the capacity to becoming another person tomorrow. And that is why when I see people that talk about the fact that, because I'm Pisces, because I'm Scorpio, because I'm Cancer, this is the kind of person I am. Who is it that tells you who you can be and what you can have simply because of your birth month? I think that is a limitation in itself. So what I'm really trying to say here is that you can either believe all of the things that the society has told you about who you are and who you can become, or you can be that kind of person with a growth mindset. The question is, what is the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset? A fixed mindset still skills as something that is inborn, something that cannot be improved, something that you came with. This kind of people, they say that, these are the things I can do, and every other thing that does not come to them by natural potential, they don't do it. A growth mindset, however, sees skill as something that they can master. They believe that one of the ways to grow the muscle is to master the heavy. These people gravitate towards challenges and they chew challenges. A fixed mindset wants to run away from challenges because they believe that the challenges would showcase their weaknesses. Okay? Now, a growth mindset sees feedback as something that can help them grow. They are always seeking for feedback from people, whereas a fixed-minded person, becomes defensive every time they are giving feedback. A fixed mindset also sees setback and failure as the end of the road, whereas a growth-minded person sees setback and failure as feedback. It is a way that they know that, this thing can no longer be done in this way. So the question really is, are you fixed in your mindset, or are you open to growing? Are you open to development? Are you open to expounding your boundaries of realities? Because if you are going to be able to achieve your goals, if you are going to be able to launch your business to the next level, then your mind must be ready to grow alongside with it. As I bring this thing to a close, I'm going to be introducing us to the SMM model of self-transformation. But before I do that, I will want us to take a quick break, and when we come back, I'm going to show us the SMM model of self-transformation.
How many people have ever made a video on YouTube or Facebook and it only had like 10 to 30 or 100 views and you kind of were pissed? Oh, I wish I had more visibility. Why these 15 souls needed what you just sent? When the Coast Guard goes out on a stormy night to rescue a boat that is capsized, they bring their helicopter and they hover over top of the boat and they realize there's more people in the water than there's space in the helicopter. Who do they save? You know what their motto is? They can only save the people who swim toward us. I can only help those that swim toward me. You will go nuts if you try to help people that do not want your help, but claim that they do. The moment you try to help somebody and they push you back and push you back, you have to say, look, you know what? I love you. I'm going to be over there. Hopefully you'll swim toward me at some point. If you don't, this helicopter's leaving. The quickest way for you to drown is to try to help somebody that's flailing around in the water or that's swimming away from you when there's all these people that are actually wanting to swim toward you. You know those 15 likes on that YouTube video of yours? They're the ones swimming toward you.
Welcome back. I'm sure that you've had a fantastic time watching this video so far, and I'm sure that you must have learned one or two things in this video that we have been watching all the while. Now, as I bring this to a close, rightly like I said before we went on break, that I want to show us the SMM model of personal transformation, and I'm going to draw it on the board. Right. So this is what I call the SMM model of personal transformation. Here we have self-awareness. The reason why we always need to start with self-awareness is based on the quote by Peter Drucker that says that what you have not measured, you cannot manage. The reason why we can say that you want to transform a thing is because you know that it is existing. So, here we are asking the question, who are you today? Who have you become? What kind of person have you become by the experiences that you have gone through? What kind of person have you become by the things that your parents taught you? What kind of person have you become by your learnings? What kind of person have you become by your experiences? Now, the second question that you ask under self-awareness is, now that you know the kind of person that you have become, is this person capable of delivering the goal that you want? Remember, I said it earlier that every goal that you want to achieve requires for you to be a particular kind of person. The question is, this person that you have discovered exists. Can this person deliver the kind of goal that you want to achieve? If not, the second thing that you now need to do is to model or get a model. Now, for every behavior that exists, there is somebody else that's already doing it. When I was learning how to really face the camera and just talk and do these kind of videos, I had to look for people that are doing great videos, and I began to study them. I began to ask myself, okay, what kind of behavior do they have? What kind of things do they say to themselves before they face the camera? What kind of thinking do they need to have? Because for you to be able to expand your boundaries of realities, you need to be able to get two things from this model. Number one is the way they think, and then number two is the way they behave. The reason is because every behavior is a function of a thinking. Have you ever tried behaving a particular way before and you struggled with it? The reason is because you have not gotten the thinking that is producing that behavior. So if you look at this, you get yourself a model, you get the way they are thinking, and then you know what they do. It is easy for you to now do the third thing, which is mirroring. Okay, mirroring. So you check yourself to know what kind of person have you become, and what kind of person you need to become for you to be able to achieve your goal. Then you look for a model that is a representation of the kind of person that you need to become, and then you come to the third leg, which is to now begin to mirror the thinking and then mirror the behavior. Now, all of this now functions within the ambit of the level of clarity. You have clarity of goals. Okay, all of these three would work within the ambit of the clarity of the goals that you want, because the kind of goal that I want will determine my model. The kind of goal that I want to achieve will determine the kind of questions I'm going to ask here. The kind of goal I want to achieve will determine the kind of person I will want to begin to mirror. So in your business as of today, do you know the kind of person you have become? Do you know those things that are sabotaging your business, that is a personal behavioral thing? Do you know the kind of thinking that has become your boundaries of reality? Have you selected a model, somebody that is doing the kind of result that you want today? You know, somebody that is a representation of your future, that their own present reality today is your own representation of the future. Have you gotten those kind of people to model, and then have you started mirroring them? The reason why mirroring is so important is because I've seen a lot of people that will tell you, I have mentors, I have role models, but when you look at them and the so-called mentors and role model, there is no similarities. Behavior is still not in alignment. That means that they've done self-awareness, they've gotten a model, but they've not started mirroring. Now, this is where it gets really tricky. When you start mirroring people, of course you are going to drop the ball. Of course you are going to fall back to previous behavior, because it is not innate, because it's not something that you have cultivated. And that is why it is important that you have what I call a staying power. But trust me, by the time you mirror today, you mirror tomorrow, you mirror next tomorrow, before you know what is happening, this behavior becomes the new you, and you'd have successfully expanded your boundaries of reality. You would be able to have more, you'll be able to do more, and then your success will be visible to all. Thank you so much for staying with me on this video. I hope you have been able to get one or two things. The question as I go is, what will you be doing differently because of this? Take a few minutes to write it down, and as you do that, God will bless you.